Hey, welcome back to the studio. I've got a new toy today, or maybe not a toy. I've been taking my bike into work, and I've gotten worried that I might get run over and killed by a car and that you won't be able to see it. So I've gone ahead and I've purchased this dash cam from the internet. We're going to wire in the dash cam to my electric bike using, I guess this. And let's just take off some screwy deals. I think that's the way you take it apart. Well, shows you what I know. It's got a little fuse. It's got a tiny thread of wire, but I can't really use that. The cap is off. We can just take apart the whole thing. We've got our 5-volt output already set up. Goes straight into a USB, plugs in. That's good enough for me. The wire's too long, but who cares? And what's interesting is normally if you were plugging in a plug or designing a plug, you wouldn't have any of these contacts so exposed. You could get halfway in, and then you'd have all this metal exposed, and that's electricity, and you don't want that, right? Actually, the entire frame of your car is the negative terminal going to the battery. So if you're exposing a bit of negative terminal, it's actually the exact same voltage as anything else in the car. It's just that if you ever have anything that's positive on the car, you can't accidentally touch it to the frame because that's grounded. That'll just short circuit across the battery. And on this side we've got some ring terminals for the negative, and on the other side we actually have a full fuse box, and that comes out as spade connectors. And I used to have an additional port coming out, and that was a direct USB charger, sort of similar to what I'm doing today. But the issue is I broke it once when I was taking it apart doing this exact task, and then I fixed it, and then a few days later I looked and I saw that the fuse had actually blown, and it was actually not plugged in at the time. Oh, here's some rings. This was my previous attempt. And this is basically what we want to replicate. We just need this positive and negative, and I've got half a mind to just steal it from here since this thing doesn't work. Hey look, more than half the mind. Easy. Here's the lesson in life. Never work too hard. So I'm just gonna put this back. There, you never saw that. We'll just strip off the ends, and then we will solder the ends to those helpfully marked solder terminals. Oh, I never unplugged my soldering iron. That's a little surprising. So here's our energy wire used for soldering. It comes in liquid form here in Silicon Valley, and if you want solid bricks of it, you have to freeze it first. Magnets, they're great. Oh, I almost forgot. You turn on your fume hood. Should be simple, but I've said that before. Let's get some of our solder out. Yeah, there we go. When in doubt, just add more solder, and so you don't have to be very accurate, as long as the solder is exactly where you want it to be. This is kind of close together. That's why there's a fuse on it. If something's covered in electric tape, what that means is the person who put it together wanted it hidden in a way that only electricians would recognize. If you see something covered in electric tape, you know it's electrically broken. Anyway, I think this looks suitably bad that it's like if you have something this ugly on a system and it breaks, you can look at the system and say, obviously this thing's broken, look at how ugly it is. There. You'd be proud to take her to the prom. Wait, shit, I'm 20 something. Take 2. Well, there you go. Now you will have a very clear but very cheap picture of my death. When I die from having been run over or fallen off or thrown off or killed by my homemade electric bicycle. Well, see y'all next time. Unless I survive long enough to get some footage off this thing. Pass you here? Yep, I made it myself. Yep. Yeah, we got a little throttle here. Pull over.
Cool. So you made this yourself?
Yep.
This is speedometer?
Yep, got a computer, an Arduino, a little microcontroller.
It's a lot easier just to make the wheel move.
Yeah.
But the speedometer, that's a lot harder. What's that LED sign?
So that's a monitor on the battery.
Oh.
So it displays the voltage on each of the cells. So I can tell if one's gone bad.
Cool.
That's
When
really
it says
handy.
all, I assume it means average.
It's the combination of all of them. So
Okay,
it measures
so it's
each.
the total.
Mm-hmm.
That's good.
That's
That's really cool.
cool. And then these are
And that little
circuit
button
breakers,
does.
Yep.
So you can turn it off in a split.